Well, folks, a very key player for the Bucks' Week 4 opponent has officially been ruled out and further beyond for this upcoming game. Shout out to Sleeper, by the way. More on them a little bit later on in this video. Firstly, it is important to note here that Nolan Smith has been ruled out for the Eagles in their Week 4 matchup versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Not only has he been ruled out, but he was placed on the injured reserve. Now, this is significant because Nolan Smith is a very solid player, one of the better players on that Eagles defense. For those of you who do not know, Nolan Smith was a former first-round draft pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. He was number 30th overall. He's 24 years old. Great young, versatile pass rusher that had come in out of Georgia. In fact, he had 1 sack in 2023. He did play in 16 games in 24, started 10, had 6.5 sacks, 11 quarterback hits. He's one of the better pass rushers on that Eagles roster, and that's significant for a couple of reasons. And whenever we take a look back at the 2024 Eagles roster, you do look, firstly, again, like just incredibly impressive with offense and defense and things along those lines. We all know how good the Eagles were last year, but whenever we take a look at the defensive stats, this is where it gets very interesting to me, because Nolan Smith was second on the team last year in sacks behind Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat is gone. He's with the Arizona Cardinals now. So Nolan Smith was that next guy in line. He's now out. Milton Williams is also not on the roster either. So you're looking now at the top 3 sack guys from the Eagles last year who are just not available. Point blank, period. Simple as that. Whenever we take a look at quarterback hits, you got a guy in Nolan Smith who was third in quarterback hits for the Eagles last year. So any way you slice it, Nolan Smith is a guy that was very versatile and contributed a lot to the defensive success of the Eagles last year. But before we dive deeper into that, guys, I do want to say shout out to Sleeper, the proud sponsor of this channel. Guys, if you do use the code MrBucs, you will get a $100 deposit match up to $100. Again, that is whenever you use the code MrBucs. Guys, download the Sleeper app today and enjoy sports the way it was meant to be. That's together, baby. Now, back to what I was talking about with Nolan Smith. Obviously, with him being out, they are going to have to see a lot of change from the Eagles in what they are going to do defensively because of how much of a big piece he was in that defense. In fact, a lot of people were surprised when this news dropped of the Eagles in terms of Smith being placed on the injured reserve. So Vic Fangio is definitely going to have to get a little bit more creative on the defensive side of the ball for the Falcons there. Whenever we take a look at their sack numbers recently, well, Jordan Davis is up there, Moro Ajomo is up there, Andrew Makuba is up there. He was a very interesting guy that I possibly wanted the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to be interested in this most recent NFL draft, and Zadarius Smith is there as well. These are all 4 players who have registered some sack statistic with the Bucs. In terms of quarterback hits, Jalen Carter's been doing his thing. Moro Ajomo has been up there as well. Jalix Hunt has been up there also. And whenever we look at the Buccaneers, whenever we take a look at the Philadelphia Eagles depth chart, there's some interesting things to make a note of here. So obviously with Nolan Smith being out, you are going to have a couple of guys step up in his place, namely Zadarius Smith, formerly of the Detroit Lions and a few other teams as well. He's going to be that starting edge rusher in his place, and Jalix Hunt is going to be in there as well. Dude, just look at this, by the way, just look at this depth chart defensively. Like Azeez Ojulari is a rotational guy. Joshua Uche is there. I mean, the Eagles are they have a deep roster, man. Even with Nakobe Dean probably being out for this upcoming game as well, like you still have Jahad Campbell there and Zach Bond. So like, Zadarius Smith is going to be that guy that takes over for Nolan Smith in this upcoming game. Now, Zadarius Smith, look, 33-year-old veteran, has done some pretty good stuff throughout his NFL career. Last year, he was on 2 teams with Cleveland, with Detroit, still finished with 9 total sacks last year. Very impressive. If you guys look, he's had 1, 2, 3 double-digit sack seasons throughout his NFL career. He's been a bit of a mercenary lately in his career. He played 1 year for the Vikings, 1.5 years for Cleveland, half a season in Detroit, and now he's with Philadelphia. So he's been bouncing around a little bit from place to place, but he's a very consistent, very solid veteran edge rusher. Look, when you've started 96 games in your career, played in 142, and have 69 and a half total career sacks, pretty consistent, as well as, by the way, 174 quarterback hits. So this is by no means a bad backup replacing Nolan Smith. It just does make the Eagles that much thinner in terms of the depth that they have, which is, hey, unfortunate for the Eagles. You obviously never want to see and hope that a player gets injured. I wish nothing but the best for Nolan Smith going forward, but it is something that the Buccaneers will help them out a little bit because of all the issues that they've had with the offensive line. Now, Tristan Wirfs is very likely going to be coming back in this upcoming game, which should help as well. We don't necessarily know what that offensive line is going to look like going into week number 4. But the fact that the best pass rusher on the Eagles is now out, that's going to help out that offensive line a lot, in my opinion. So what do you guys think about Nolan Smith being out? What do you think about Zadarius Smith stepping in for him? Let me know your thoughts and opinions about it. I'd love to hear it down in the comments section below. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. And as always, I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.